Hi everyone, welcome back to Dog Q&A. This is number 44, and today we're going to talk about dog sleeping positions and their meanings and what that might reveal about your dog. So sometimes the position your dog sleeps in can give you some clues into their temperament and personality, and can just show that fun side of your dog and that interesting part that we don't always pick up on. So let me get my screen share going. Okay. So, and I'll move myself out of the way. So here we are, Dog Q&A 44, dog sleeping positions and their meanings. So in this video, we're going to look at 10 different dog sleeping positions and talk about what that might say about the dog in that position. And I like this one because I've used some pictures of my own dogs, but many of you also contributed pictures and videos of your dogs. So that's super fun. So I hope you guys enjoy this since you were a big part of it. Okay, so the first one we have, oh, this is Minnie. She's just super cute, 5-pound Chihuahua. Okay, so here we go, the 10 different dog sleeping positions. First up, we have the side sleeper. So on the left, that is Rascal, and on the right is our dog Sammy in the front and our other dog Maddie in the back, who's not with us anymore. But when these guys were together, they were always doing the same thing like that. I've got a lot of pictures of them being copycats. But what does this say about these dogs? Rascal here, who looks to be passed out on a couch, and Maddie and Sammy on this concrete floor in the sun. What it says is that your dog feels relaxed and safe and that they're at a comfortable temperature. So basically it means your dog is pretty at ease and they're able to just be sound asleep, relaxed. They feel very safe in this position. What this says about the personality of your dog is that they are trusting and loyal, and they like to sleep anywhere except their own bed. Now, I know these things will not be true of every dog because both of my dogs loved sleeping in their beds as well, but they did like the cold, hard floor. And Rascal clearly loves the couch, but Rascal may also like the bed. So we'll have to find out more about him. Okay, so the side sleeper, that's your trusting, loyal companion. Next up, we have the lion's pose. So this is again Maddie and Sammy, and you can see that their heads are between their front paws and they're kind of pointing straight out. So they're laying on their bellies and they're resting, but it says ready to jump up and play in a moment's notice. Now, I don't know if these two were in that. They don't look like they're ready to do anything anytime soon except sleep. However, if your dog does lie in this position and they kind of look like they're ready to jump up, that may be part of their temperament. Maybe they're a little more playful, a little more excited about things. What this says about your dog's personality is that they are protective and loyal and devoted, and they sleep by your feet a lot or by the front door. So kind of like a watchdog, kind of watching over you. We definitely had that with Sammy on the right. Not so much with Maddie. She would welcome every stranger with her favorite toy. But these are indicators into your dog's personality. So the lion's pose. So hopefully you have a dog like that who's your loyal, trusting, faithful companion. Next up, we have the Superman. And I didn't have any dogs who slept like this, and I didn't see any of you with any dogs like this. I see this a lot with puppies, and as you can see, there's a husky puppy in this picture. We've probably all seen the corgi puppies online who are all lying in this position as well. Those are so funny. And sometimes they're on their back, but the Superman dog is on their front. They're tired, but they're ready to play if the opportunity arises. And that's why I think we see this a lot with puppies. They're playful and energetic, playing until they can't play anymore and they plop on the floor. So this puppy probably, knowing huskies and puppies, they are wild. So probably played until he literally dropped into this position. But probably if you were to squeak a toy, he would jump up and have another bout of play. So the Superman is the one who plays until he passes out on the floor and then is ready to play again. Okay, so then we have the donut. This is Sammy in his, we call this a boa also, but they call it the donut here. And the donut, I see this a lot. You've probably seen huskies in their, when they're pulling a sled in the Iditarod. They will often sleep like this because it's very cold. And they'll put them on some hay and then or straw, and then they'll curl up in a donut like this. So what this says is that they're seeking protection. So all of their vulnerable parts are curled in tight. They even have the tail over the nose and face. It also says that they are maybe cold and preserving body heat, or just staying warm by lying in this position. So what this says about the dog is that the dog is caring but anxious. And this is very common in dogs getting used to a new home. So I wonder if we took this picture when Sammy was kind of new, because now he just sprawls out. So it may have been he came to a new home, he had another dog to deal with, 2 new people, and he wasn't sure of his environment yet. So I kind of wonder now if he was new to us or newish to us when we took this picture. Sammy is a more anxious dog in general. He's not, I wouldn't call him anxious, but he's got some, he can be prone to being anxious in certain situations. So dogs who sleep in the donut may be a little more unsure about life. So I'm curious to hear if you guys have a dog that sleeps like this, if that's what you have found. Okay, so next up we have the Cuddler. I had so many pictures of cuddlers that I had to just pick a few that kind of represented what we were talking about here. So the cuddler will lie on top of you or curled up with another animal. So on the left, there's Sammy lying on my leg. You can see he's awake, but he's resting. And then in the middle, we have Little Dog and Angelo, and obviously not a little dog, but hilarious name for a Rottweiler. And they are curled up together, and you see that Little Dog's back is to Angelo. And then we have Taz and Tito on the right, and Taz looks like a boxer or a boxer mix upside down. And then Tito is the bulldog kind of leaning up against him. So these two are obviously comfortable together. And what these dogs typically show in these positions of lying up against you or another animal is it's a sign of love and bonding. They want to get closer to you, or maybe they feel some security lying with the other animal. They typically are very affectionate and loving dogs. So if you have a cuddler dog, great. The irony of this is that Sammy on the left with me is not a cuddly dog. However, he tolerates touch from me the best, and he does get some security from me. So I feel like in all these pictures, they're kind of getting some reassurance from each other. Cute. Okay, so then next up, and thank you everyone for sending your pictures. I love it. Next up, we have the Burrower. So these are, let me see if I can move my head out of the way there. These are animals that like to bury themselves under blankets and covers. And they will often just find a way to get under some kind of clothing or blanket or towel or anything. And these dogs are searching for comfort and security. So you see this a lot with small dogs, and I see this a lot with older dogs. So they just need a little more comfort in their as they age, because maybe their senses are declining a little bit and they just want a little more reassurance that they're okay. These dogs can be affectionate, but maybe a little needy, we call it. So they may often seek reassurance from us that they're okay. So three great pictures here: Bella on the left, and then Gigi in the middle, and Jock on the right. And I know Gigi and Jock are a little older for their breeds for sure. And I'm not sure about Bella, but Bella has a pillow and a blanket, which is super cute. So the Burrower dogs, these are our dogs seeking reassurance. Okay, then the belly up. Now, I used to call this husky pose because I saw so many huskies lying in this position. Obviously, these dogs are not huskies, so other breeds do this as well. These are dogs that lie on their back with their legs full up in the air. Every vulnerable part of them is exposed. So what does that say? These dogs trust you. They trust you. They trust their environment. They are very secure with themselves and their lives and everything going on. These dogs tend to be loving, trusting, comfortable in their surroundings. They may just sleep literally anywhere. Going by these pictures, I could imagine these dogs would have no problem falling asleep literally anywhere. So in these pictures, we've got Blue on the top, who is just sprawled out everywhere. And Blue looks kind of young. So I'm guessing the puppy thing helps a little bit with being trusting, and maybe hasn't had any bad experience, or she hasn't had, or he, I can't tell. Looks like maybe he has not had many bad experiences in life because he's young. And then on the bottom left, we have Katie Jake. And Katie Jake got her name because one person of the couple wanted Katie, one wanted Jake, and now we have Katie Jake. And then we have Condor on the bottom right, also sprawled out for all the world to see everything. So these are our very comfortable, confident, trusting dogs. Then we have the back-to-back. So similar to our Cuddler dogs, these are dogs who lie with their back to another animal. So you can see that on the left, we have Little Dog and Angelo, like we showed earlier, and Little Dog's back is to Angelo. And then on the right is a picture I found on the internet, and it's the opposite, where the cat has his back to the dog. So that cat really trusts that dog, and they clearly have a bond. These are dogs that show a lot of affection, a lot of trust, and they look for a sense of intimacy from you or the other animal. And they may only do this with the person or animal they feel safest with. So you may not see them do this with everybody, but they may do this with their safe person or safe cat or dog or other animal. Who knows? Pig, doesn't matter. So these are the affectionate dogs. And then we have the dogs who lie on a cold surface. So on the left, we have Sammy, who we saw earlier lying on concrete. There he is on the tile. He loves a cold surface. And then on the right is this puppy I found on the internet, who is super cute. And both of them look like Spitzy type breeds, maybe husky mixes. And they tend to be a warmer dogs, so they like the cold more. Lots of fur in these pups. So this position is directly related to temperature. These dogs are just trying to cool down. They're hot. They like the cold floor. It's that simple. Not much to read into these guys. They're just hot dogs. And then last but not least, we have head and neck raised. So these are dogs who will prop their heads up on as stuffed animal, a pillow, something. So on the left, you can see Maddie has her head on a pillow, and Sammy kind of does too. But I'm looking more at Maddie in the left picture, the dog on the right. And the reason she had her head propped up is because this is when she was in her final, gosh, it was her final months, and she was having more trouble breathing. So she would prop her head up, and that would help her to breathe. And then the picture on the right is Pepper. And I don't know if Pepper has any breathing issues, but again, another older dog. So you see this a lot with senior dogs, and it probably does help them as their airway, maybe the muscles get a little more tired, and then propping the head up helps them to breathe a little bit better. You often see this with dogs who have breathing issues, and often in dogs also that have chronic heart disease or other health problems. So it's probably a way to help them feel a little more comfortable. So you probably see this with your senior dog. And, with senior dogs, I say, let's give them everything they possibly need. And if you've ever had a senior dog, you know what I mean. You just want to give them everything in the world for their remaining time. And they're just so sweet. I would love to have a senior dog rescue, but the time and energy and emotional toil would be way too much. So, okay, so that's our head and neck raised dogs. And of course, there may be dogs who do this for other reasons. Don't assume your dog has a medical issue because they're lying on a pillow. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. These were 10 sleeping positions that may reveal some things about your dogs. And if you need help with training, either online or in person in the St. Louis, Missouri area, you can visit my website for more information. And if you'd like to be a guest on the Dog Q&A and ask a question, or you're an animal expert and want to share your insight into dogs, then let's do a Zoom. And you can contact me through the website as well. So, okay, everyone, have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.